What if the most powerful queen in ancient Egypt hid her husband so well that even the gods could not find him? In 2025, under a seasonal waterfall in a forbidden mountain west of Luxor, archaeologists unearthed a tomb lost for 3,500 years. Inside lay no treasure, no body, just silence, and the echo of a truth someone tried desperately to bury. This isn't just archaeology, it's a revelation that may rewrite the very foundation of the 18th dynasty. The tomb, now labeled Tomb C4, was buried beneath layers of flood debris and plaster. For centuries, no one even knew to look there. The mountain was considered cursed, its location impossible. Until one team, led by Dr. Piers Litherland, noticed something strange in old maps and satellite scans. Anomalies, disruptions, whispers of something hidden. Pharaoh Thutmose II ruled Egypt briefly, around 1493 to 1479 BCE. Young, sickly, overshadowed. His legacy was dimmed even in his own time. He was the son of Thutmose Brebriwen and a lesser queen, Mutnefret. He married his powerful half-sister Hatshepsut to legitimize his rule, and yet, after his death, he virtually vanished from Egypt's grand historical stage. Hatshepsut was no ordinary queen. She held divine titles, God's wife of Amun, great royal wife. When Thutmose II died, his heir, Thutmose III, was just a child, born to a concubine. Hatshepsut seized the regency. Then, astonishingly, she took on the role of pharaoh herself, crowned, bearded, divine. In her rise, Thutmose II became expendable. Tomb C4 descended steeply into the mountainside. Its ceilings were painted dark blue, dotted with gold stars. Its architecture, once regal, was now waterlogged and fractured. But unlike a looted tomb, nothing remained. No body, no sarcophagus, no gold, no amulets. The absence was so complete it felt intentional. Experts found signs of flooding just years after the tomb's ceiling. The entrance was later plastered shut and hidden under rock. The theory: Hatshepsut chose this doomed location, not to honor him, but to erase him. A flooded tomb was not just tragic, it was an omen, a failed king, a warning to forget. In ancient Egypt, how you died and where you were buried shaped your legacy. Tombs were eternal monuments of divine favor. To deny a king a fitting burial was to deny his place among the gods. Hatshepsut, rising in power, may have ensured that her husband's name would not compete with her own. Years later, Hatshepsut commissioned her own glorious temple at Deir el-Bahari. She inscribed herself in the male form, with muscular statues and kingly headdresses. Her story rewrote itself, her rule legitimized. But behind it all, the silence of Thutmose II loomed like a phantom in stone. In 1881, a mummy identified as Thutmose II was found in the royal cache at Deir el-Bahari. It had been moved during the Third Intermediate Period to protect it from tomb robbers, but recent scans show the body was much older than expected. Its teeth, bone structure, even burial wrappings suggest a different timeline. Historians have long debated the identifications of cache mummies. Names were hastily written on coffins, wrappings were reused. Some labels might have been politically motivated. What if the mummy we've long called Thutmose II isn't? What if his real body was never found? Near the flooded tomb, Dr. Litherland's team discovered something astonishing: a conical hill, 23 meters tall. On the surface, it looked natural, but tests showed it was man-made. Mud plaster, limestone shards, ash from torches. It was not a burial site, it was a cover. Litherland believes Tomb C4 was only a ruse, a decoy, a public burial meant to be found and forgotten. Meanwhile, under the mound, a second, secret tomb awaits. There, Thutmose II might still rest, hidden, guarded, intact. A tomb worthy of a king, buried by a queen who no longer wanted him remembered. Such a second burial would require planning, labor, secrecy, thousands of workers, dozens of overseers, all sworn to silence, the construction of a false memory, a fabrication of absence to support a greater political illusion. If Hatshepsut orchestrated this, she wasn't just a ruler. She was a manipulator of memory, a master strategist. She knew what a tomb meant, and she weaponized it. The question isn't just what she buried, it's what she feared would be found. Some believe the location under the waterfall was no accident. Ancient Egyptians feared water, it dissolved memory. Some scholars even theorize that the flooding was harnessed, that seasonal rains were used intentionally to destroy the tomb after burial, a ritual erasure by nature. Ironically, Hatshepsut II would vanish. Decades after her death, her statues were toppled, her images chiseled away, her name removed from king lists. Who ordered it? Possibly Thutmose III or even Amenhotep II. In the end, the woman who erased a king was herself erased by kings. In ancient Egypt, power did not die with the body. It lived in stone, in memory, in funerary rites. The game was not about ruling, but about being remembered. And the greatest weapon in that game was a tomb. Dr. Litherland's team has petitioned for full excavation of the mound. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed anomalies beneath. Chambers, voids, structures that shouldn't be there. Could this be the final resting place of a king long denied his legacy? For the curious, visit Deir el-Bahari, where Hatshepsut's temple still stands. Explore the Valley of Kings. Read The Woman Who Would Be King by Kara Cooney, or listen to the Egyptian History Podcast's episodes on Thutmose II. The real history is richer than fiction. The story of the pharaoh who was never supposed to be found is not over. Beneath a mountain of silence, a truth still sleeps. A forgotten king, a queen's ambition, and a mystery only stone can tell. Subscribe to join us as we uncover more forgotten empires, ancient lies, and truths waiting to be unearthed. Because history doesn't sleep, it waits.